everybody. Welcome, family, to this Saturday. Celebrate exercising your right to protest and together and communicate and show fellowship with each other for this very important issue that's facing us. I'd like to welcome my friend here, Rick, to come up and start us off. Karakia and a kōrero.
Kia ora tātou te whānau. Kia ora whānau, haere mai, haere mai, haere mai. My love to you all. I'm sure that we've all come here for the same reason.
Yes.
That a lot of us are facing a lot of changes in our world today, with our families, with our jobs, and the blackmailing of us in our own jobs, that we don't get the choice of what goes into our bodies. And this is a very serious issue that we must look into our heart, into all of our hearts, that we are supremely able to say no to what goes into our body. Every man and every woman and every child. The unfortunate thing now is that they're coming for the children. And this is where the parents need to stand, that what they're putting in is a messenger mRNA. And the messenger mRNA, for those that don't know, this is not a vaccine, it's a gene therapy. It does not tick off what is a vaccine. The reason why that it's come under the lights of a vaccine is because it can be pushed through where they're going to be not liable, the company. They're not going to be liable for what happens to you, whether you have adverse effects or whether you die. They cannot be liable for it. None of the vaccine companies can be held accountable. Even though Pfizer have 2.3 billion lawsuits against them, the highest in history. This is a reality. People need to understand, so it's about educating each other. I know that sometimes our families haven't seen eye to eye because of our passion. And sometimes haven't been able to connect with them and they've gone the other way. But for those who are facing this, which we all have done, because they see us as being a little bit extreme in some of the information we give them, we need to connect in the heart. It's about changing the way your body functions. Your God-given body and your right to defend yourself has been put in with an operating system. Your immunity is being affected. When the booster comes in, look out. And this is what they're setting up in 18 months' time, right? Everyone will get their booster shots. Everyone will get what they need, and I think everything's fine. They'll go back to it, and then they'll lock us down again. It's never going to end. It's happening in this world as well. The reason why it's never going to end is because they are controlling our minds to the media.
Yes.
They're controlling our minds to the media. Every day, everywhere you go. Everywhere you look around with everyone with their masks on. All these people have been brainwashed because that's the way they work.
Yes.
They own the media. Toba O'Brien, Jessica Mutz, the only two people who still go to when she speaks.
Yes.
And so everyone are facing losing their jobs because it's been pushed down from Jacinda Ardern, right from the very top. And she's pushing it down, so she doesn't have to take responsibility, she's putting it on the employer. So she's blackmailing the employer to force you to take an experimental drug into your arm. And this is rape, medical rape. And what people don't understand is that we have the right not to have that in our body. Every woman has the right. Every woman has the right to say no. And every man has the right to say no. For our children. This is the reality that we're facing today. What I'd like to say is that not only is this happening in the lockdowns, but we're looking at over 700 suicides in lockdown. And we're looking at the para-suicides that you don't see, which is up to 100 suicides a month of people who are attempting suicide. That's 1,900 people that attempted and 700 that succeeded. We're looking at children hanging themselves in their wardrobes because they can't see their friends. This is the abomination and the world we're living in today. But our Prime Minister is totally held up with the United Nations of the world. She's in with the United Nations of the world because she's got a directive from them to do what she did with Bill Gates, to get all the vaccines and to put them into us. And by hell or high water, she's going to do everything she can. She went to Wanganui the other day. The almighty power of Jacinda Ardern was no more. Because the people stood in their heart for their children and what they could see. And everyone is standing. In Wellington, they have a march on the 9th up there. And the whole of New Zealand will be in their heart, and they'll be telling her, and they won't see it on mainstream media, it doesn't matter. We already know that they're lying. The people have the power. The people's love have the power, because we know the truth. You can lie as much as you like to Sindra Den. It is coming from the light of God in all of us, and the light of creation itself. You can spit into the wind to Sindra Den, but it's going to come back in your face. The reality of it all is that the Sindra Den, Chris Hipkins, this Bloomfield guy, what is he, Ashley or something?
Bloomfield.
These guys can crawl under the rock from where they came from, because they are evil, and I'm telling you now, they are lying to you.
Yes.
And the only person they serve is the father of lies. And the father of lies, we all know who that is. And they are serving him with every brainwashing technique they can, through subliminal messaging on everything that they do.
Yeah.
Now,
today is a sad day. Today I have a devastating announcement to make. We no longer live in a democracy of law. We absolutely live in a tyranny, a dictatorship,
Yes.
a fascist state.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. You might be aware that there have been several outfits working at delivering exemption certificates, legal exemption certificates, to those who are threatened with the loss of jobs because they didn't take the jab. Yes? Have you heard of that?
Yes.
The government has just renounced, got rid of Clause 7C, the one clause that made those certificates legal. There is only one solution as far as I see it, and I have no idea how we are going to make it happen. But this bunch of dorks at the top that call themselves a government must go. How we do that, I know not. There must be a way. Ideas are most welcome.
Anarchy.
Anarchy is not necessarily the way. Anarchy is just no law. And everybody then managing themselves beautifully because they know how to take responsibility. Yes. We don't have that opportunity either.
No, we
There is
don't.
no chance for anarchy until we get rid of those, I'm going to keep it clean, dorks. It's a disgusting word, isn't it? It is now. So what we are going to do is listen to your ideas. Who's going down to Wellington on Tuesday? There will be a bus, at least one bus. There's also 3 going from Wanganui, so we're a bit behind the 8 ball, Palmerston North. If you want to go on a bus, email palmerston.north
at
voicesforfreedom.co.nz. Look forward to getting your bus bookings. If you have any questions, please come and talk.
Not the bit before. The bit about the doctors.
Doctors, if you know any medical practitioners of any flavour, shape, size, whatever, let me know on that same address. I've been a Astarte. You've been fantastic.
Thank you.
I came to New Zealand of European origins to start anew here because I love the Kiwi openness, general acceptance, the nature of New Zealand. I considered New Zealand a place of faith and spirituality. I have roots in the family tree coming from here, both Pākehā and Māori roots, and I've been wanting to connect better with them. I could never have imagined that this country would end up in the vile grasp of a dictatorship. Then certain fearful events happen. The Christchurch mosque shooting, the mass stabbing in Auckland storm. Both tragic events have led to Labour tightening their grasp on what they call anti-terror laws, which takes away not just power, but also responsibility from the average civilian and gives it to the government. With media on their side, Labour has then positioned itself as, quote-unquote, the people's herald that dismantles terror. Every civilian should have the right to defend their own home. Yet with Labour's anti-terror laws, you'll end up having no guns at home, which means no practical defence against robbers and murderers, nor abuse of power from a dictatorship, because their quote-unquote law enforcement will be able to waltz into your place and should you refuse to comply with ever-tightening rules. Because that's what's going to be like if we let this go. The rules will get tighter and tighter. You will own nothing, and you'll be happy or you'll be dead. People of Palmerston North and of New Zealand, I have a family history that experienced Nazi tyranny in World War II. My grandparents both were on the borders with Germany when the Nazis invaded their land. In one day, their land belonged to Hitler and his Nazis. They were lucky enough to live on a farm to provide for themselves. But my great-grandpa nearly was executed because he hid Jews who feared for their lives. It was that serious. If it wasn't for a righteous German officer, he would have been killed. And after World War II, they feared the oppression of the Soviet Union, which was communist. I'll give you a little insider. Under the Soviet Union, more people died in that one nation than all throughout World War II. That is 50 million people. 50 million people died under communist rule. Let that sink in for a second. Now, second generation since World War II, I cannot believe that I am basically standing in their shoes in a country on the other side of the world against a tyrannical government. If you've read how the Nazis in Germany or the communists in Russia got to power, Labour is doing a very identical approach. They turn the media to their biased favour. They silence parties that are against them. They arrest people who disagree with them, as has happened in Auckland. By the way, that wasn't 5,000, that was 15,000 people standing up. The media is lying. And they select a particular group to put the blame on to distract the common population from what's truly going on. In World War II, that was the Jews. Now here in New Zealand, that group is the unvaxxed. The unvaxxed are being treated like lesser civilians. They've had jobs taken from them, threatened with fines, been arrested, had their businesses shut down. They've been looked upon by much of society as if they're carriers of Black Death. They have been discriminated for speaking up on what is truth. And the hard truth is, New Zealand's freedom has been elected away, and now the tyrannical dictatorship under the banner of Labour is rapidly tightening its grip on us. This isn't even a stand for the future of our children. It is a fight for our very own freedom.
For our lives.
For our lives, yes. Now let me clarify. I do not encourage violence, nor do I condone the killing or hurting of a fellow human. We're all Kiwis. We share this nation. But let me recap on a few of the despicable actions Labour has done. They've silenced other parties by not listening to their feedbacks, possibly even threatening them. They have stated a full-on tyrannical statement of, we alone are the voice of truth now, if you remember that. Yes, that's right. You're not the voice of truth, Jacinda. Liars. And through their leadership, New Zealand is facing its worst economical state ever, with housing prices skyrocketing, jobs being lost, and businesses facing a shutdown. Giving money to gangs at that is questionable at best. But I've heard rumours, I don't have the evidence unfortunately, but rumours alone say something, that she's been giving finances to the Taliban, which is nothing short of treason. But they've also ordered our brothers and sisters who would stand with us for freedom to be arrested. And they misrepresent us, like I said, by claiming it was 5,000 people, but it was 15,000 people, and that was just Auckland. And that number is going to grow. They try to hide the fact that they've exposed themselves as a tyrannical party which, given the free rein, will see New Zealand be turned into a communist dictatorship like North Korea and China. But until that day, here we stand in truth for our freedom. Now, here's my personal message to you, Jacinda, and to you, Labour. The Lord God that has protected New Zealand, the Lord God that has a great plan for Aotearoa, has seen your vile acts, the silencing of the innocent. He has not overlooked the scenes behind your curtains, the bribing of the media and the spreading of lies. He has not forgotten your despicable acts with the red serpent, nor shall he let it go unpunished. Your reign shall not endure. Your lies shall be exposed for all to see. Your tyranny will crumble before God's will. Your true allegiance be made known before all peoples and all angels. Jacinda, turn to the Lord and beg for his mercy, for his wrath is fierce and ready. This is the warning for you, Jacinda, and for Labour. God has heard the prayers of the righteous and the voices of those who seek truth and freedom, and his justice upon your transgressions is nigh. I will not comply with tyranny. I will not comply. Let us work together for a better New Zealand that is based on love, on truth, and freedom. Kia kaha. God defend New Zealand. Thank you.
I am a mother of 3, and I know that there are plenty of you that have had enough. So today, I call on the mothers, wahine toa, to join me today in the cry of the mothers.
Speaking to a man in a plumber's merchant today about my neighbour who almost died. He came up to me and he said I was an outright liar, that no one has had adverse reactions. I haven't seen it on the news, I never heard that on the radio. I just want you to all know that you're not crazy, that you're not alone, and that we all need to stand together, vaxxed or not vaxxed. Don't judge them. I mean, the pressure of work, mortgages, feeding your family. I don't know many people who have chosen just to take the vax, other than people who haven't investigated. But much love to everybody, and just keep strong.
So I work as a health and safety advisor with a research organisation, and its staff include numerous molecular biologists and biochemists. So the language I'm exposed to, apart from health and safety, is around genetics. So I learned a bit about that stuff. I understand a little bit of it. So something that my colleagues talk about a lot is gene expression, all right? So I was having a conversation with my wife because, you know, she's the source of all knowledge, well, second source of all knowledge, recently, and she commented on how a proportion of the people who have made this and had this injection appear to have lost their empathy.
That's true.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. This has led me to do some research because that's sort of the area that I'm in. And in breaking news, so new that it isn't even reported on the Single Source of the Truth website, believe it or not. I can report that the COVID injection can lead to the overexpression or underexpression of a range of genes. I kid you not. You have to have empathy with our at-risk friends, okay? As there is a genetic explanation for their behaviour.
All I can say, it is potential good news. The committee is meeting this afternoon and we are going to re-strategise. Watch this space. People with the courage to resist those shots are not hesitant. I'm not hesitant, are you?
No! God, no.
We are sacrificing their relationships, their jobs and their freedoms in this stand against medical tyranny. And I'd like to add here, it's more than medical tyranny. This is total tyranny. That type of moral conviction cannot be swayed with propaganda and free donuts. Gift cards and $50 cash, for goodness sake. And it can't be reduced to some dismissive term like hesitancy. What could we call it? Absolute resistance, because that's who we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are the resistance.
Way to go, my sister. There you go.
Love you, Josh.
Okay, I'm really trepidatious about being here today.
You can do it!
No.
You can do it!
I just feel that I'm making myself vulnerable at the moment by doing this to other things, but let me tell you. Okay, I am a teacher. I'm also a recruit volunteer firefighter.
Woo! Yeah! Thank you! Thank you!
As a teacher, I live what I teach. I'm a really good teacher and I really love your kids.
Woo! Yeah!
Our teaching code and standard says that we have a commitment to society. In 4.1 it says to promote and protect the principle of human rights and social justice. That is why I am here today. Oh God, I'm so nervous. Okay. On Monday, the 15th of November 2021, I will laugh with your child. I will hold them close, and if they cry, I will sit next to them, supporting their learning until they have that magical aha moment when they get it. I will love and care for them as if they are my own. That's what I do. I will help them to be their best self. On Monday, the 15th of November 2021, I will rescue your child from a house fire. I will perform CPR on your nana. I will rescue you in a car accident. Worst case scenario, I will sit there and hold your hand and comfort you as your life slips away. On Tuesday, the 16th of November 2021, if I honour my medical and human rights to informed consent and choose not to put an experimental drug in my body, I will suddenly become a selfish, uncaring, despicable human being.
Not true! Not true!
From society's point of view. Okay. Oh my God, the government has said it will be an offence for me to be on my school grounds with my precious students. The government has said I will not be allowed to save your life if I make that choice. The government has said I will not be able to participate in this world anymore. My human rights would almost cease to exist, as I will almost cease to exist. But Even if you strip me of every one of my human rights, you cannot strip me of who I choose to be.
When I heard that the injection was coming up, I don't know, it turned my guts, It turned my gut. It made me panic. It made me feel trapped again. The reason I brought up the whole addiction thing, the whole mental health thing, was because many years ago I was in that space. I lost my freedom to choose. I was introduced to helplessness and hopelessness. And that was my first time. Since then, I've lost people in my family. I've also lost a child. So when this thing came up, I had to try and sort, guide myself through. It's not. It feels the same. I'm being forced to do something that I don't want to do, that I have no choice in. It doesn't matter about the gifts inside of me. It doesn't matter about the kaha of my wairua or my love. It doesn't matter about anything that I've been through. I'm just a number in a seat.
Yeah.
So that's something that I don't want to go through again. And intimidation and bullying, especially in the workforce and in our schools, have been, it's a common thing now. It's one of the tools that are used to get things done.
Remember, the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I see of no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Hey, especially in this day and age. What's going on, man? What's going on in our country, our free country that we've lived in for so many years? You see Jacinda not even taking questions at conferences, running away with her tail between her legs. Is that the leader we want here in New Zealand? No, we don't. We don't want communists. We don't want socialists, fascists, whatever you want to call it. Secret societies, whatever, man. We just want to be free. So, Christoph from the USSR back in the day, he had a roadmap from democracy to socialism. And we all know socialism leads to communism. So his roadmap was, first one, you take over healthcare. What are they doing here in New Zealand now? She's conjoining all the healthcare systems. The government's taking over. The next one is, oh God, looks like poverty. So what she's doing, locking down the cities, closing businesses. I heard in the last month we've had 9,500 businesses closed down. What's going on with that? Next one, debt. Debt is something they've got to use to get to socialism from democracy. And what are they doing? They've pushed those house prices up. Everyone's paid out the arse for their house, and now they're going to push those interest rates up. Meaning all these people are probably going to have to sell all their houses. Hey, or have Big Daddy government come and pay for them. You will own nothing and be happy, as I heard another brother say earlier. Next thing, gun control. Well, shit, they've done that bloody years ago. They've taken the weapons off the people so we can't defend ourselves against a tyrannical government. That's what the First Amendment is, or the Second Amendment is in America. So you can have protection against your tyrannical government. Well, our guns are out. Next one, education. They're invading all our schools, teaching our young kids about socialism, about sexuality, about all these weird things that they don't need to know.
Let kids be kids.
Let kids be kids. Hey, save our children. That's right. There's a couple more there that I can't read, so I'll just skip them out. But the last one is media. And holy shit, we already know what they've done there. Yeah, the media, yeah, so we know they're full of lies. What do you guys think of the media? Boo, bro, big boo. Hey, that's if she'll even talk to them though. And then the class system is what they said about getting democracy into socialism. You have class warfare, have the rich against the poor. But they've just changed that up a little bit now. It's now the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated. We're all driven to hate each other. That's all you hear. Boo, man, yes. And the media, when you go to the shops, when you walk past signs, you hear it on the radio, like, it's crazy, it's everywhere. Brainwashing, man. And then that leads us on to, like, the whole Three Waters debacle. You know, they're taking over the water. You know, we go through this list of the roadmap to socialism. We're pretty much already there. Hey, what do you guys want to live in? Socialism or a free world? Free democracy? Hey, what do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? We are sovereign. We are free.
We are sovereign. We are free.
The Bill of Rights belongs to me.
The Bill of Rights belongs to me.
Are we going to have any more talking or are we going to march?